Hey guys, welcome to the video, and today I'll be reviewing Asterigos Curse of the Stars, which is an action RPG Souls-like developed by Acme Game Studios. Today I'll be talking about what I liked and what I disliked about the game to see if you should play it. This was the developer's first game, and I've had my eye on it for a while. I decided to start off my new year by playing Asterigos, and I'll tell you I have a lot to say. First, let's talk about the game's story, where we're introduced to Hilda. Hilda is a brave warrior from the Northwind Legion who embarks on a journey to the Cursed City in order to save her lost father. The game starts with Hilda waking up from blacking out and must learn her surroundings while recovering her missing gear. Along the way, she tracks down her father to the city of Aphis, but before she has a chance to search for her father, Hilda is captured by a soldier and brought back to meet the locals of Aphis called Ephesians. After gaining consciousness, Hilda meets a woman named Minerva and learns about her father's whereabouts, and also learns about the city's unfortunate circumstance. Now Hilda must work with Minerva to find her father and also lift the curse of Asterigos. I think that Asterigos' story is one of its biggest strengths. I always found myself wanting to learn more about the cursed city of Aphis and its people. One of the ways that you will learn of its story is by choosing text options. I really liked this, and I liked following the story and learning more about it, but Asterigos has issues from its small budget. When talking to a character, you will have the option to choose highlighted text that is part of the main quest you are on. Afterwards, you are given the option to choose more text, but my issue here is while the main quest text is voice acted, the others are not.
So not only was my father threatened by this Eumenides, but he was also manipulated into doing his dirty work?
I also noticed that characters' dialogue don't sync up with their lips when they speak.
That's great. I'll go with you. Where are you supposed to meet?
You're coming too? With your help, we'll definitely make it to the rally point.
This was very disappointing and immersion breaking to me. You can also come across these echoes, which are magical records that you can see from the past. I really enjoyed stumbling upon these because they always provided more details to the story and the area I was in. The only issue that I have with echoes is that you have to stand in the area that they are in and you can't leave the echo's radius or it'll disappear. With all of these issues, I felt like sometimes the pacing of the game felt really slow when it came to reading text or having to be still for a short period of time while watching an echo. I also felt that Hilda as a character was very likable, and I like how she follows an honorable warrior code, but while progressing through the story, she doesn't really have much of a character arc to follow until near the end of the game. I overall really like the story of Asterigos, and I love how narrative driven it was, but I feel like it has a lot of issues that go alongside it. I hope that the developers can learn from this game because they know how to write a really interesting story and believable city I enjoyed being in. Asterigos' gameplay is very similar to other Souls-likes, where you explore an area, encounter enemies, collect loot for rewards, and fight bosses, but one of the things that makes Asterigos different is it has difficulty options. Here, you can choose to play on story, adventure, and challenge. I chose to play on adventure difficulty because I like following a game's story while also having a little bit of a challenge. Another thing that makes Asterigos stand out from other games is its weapons and abilities. Asterigos has you choose from 6 different weapons that include a sword and shield, daggers, a hammer, a spear, a staff, and bracelets. You can equip up to 2 weapons, each having a basic attack and a secondary use called techniques. I really enjoyed this because weapons like the spear have a parry for its secondary use, or daggers would have a really agile slide that allows Hilda to become invulnerable and gives her a way to enter and leave combat swiftly. I also like how each weapon can be used in different encounters, and you can test each one to see what fits your playstyle. For me, I really liked using the combination of the sword and the shield with the spear for the longest time because I had protection with the shield and I could be very cautious and attack from a distance with the spear. I also liked using the daggers because they dealt a lot of damage and they were agile too. On top of some fun weapons to use, Asterigos has a really good upgrade system where you'll be able to gain attribute points and talent points to upgrade Hilda. When you are upgrading your attributes, you'll have the option to upgrade attack, health, constitution, arcane, and more. These attributes will be condensed into 3 options, so if you get confused about what you're upgrading, there's a tip feature that explains everything. Alongside this, you will have talent points where you can upgrade Hilda's passive skills and gain new abilities. I really like this because blocking with Hilda's sword and shield at first felt very unfinished because I couldn't move around while I was blocking. Fortunately, I decided to browse through some of the game's skills and I found that I can unlock movement while blocking in the talent tree. I also really like how some skills have a benefit but also have a trade-off, like if I wanted to heal more, I would have to hold less healing items. Unlocking abilities are also great in this game, and you'll have a variety to unlock per weapon. An ability uses ability power, so you can't just walk up into a fight and spam any ability. I really liked using abilities in this game, especially the daggers abilities. I found this one ability that costed very little ability power and did a significant amount of damage, but where I had a lot of enjoyment with abilities, I also felt they were imbalanced and unfair to use sometimes. I really only had this issue in the later half of my playthrough, but I shouldn't be able to spam a powerful attack on an enemy that should be very difficult. Using some abilities made the game feel too easy at times, and this didn't help either when the enemies in the game just sat there and looked at me. Enemy AI in this game can be very inconsistent, where sometimes enemies can be challenging and fun to encounter, but sometimes I would run into enemies that didn't attack at all or try to attack me at the very last second before they died. Other than these issues, I loved encountering the wide variety of enemies Asterigos has, like cultists, minotaurs, humans, lions, harpies, werewolves, and many more. The more that I progressed through the game, I was introduced to some really cool and challenging enemies, but where I had the most fun was fighting Asterigos' bosses. I like how each boss feels like an intimidating fight that always introduced new and challenging mechanics. The boss fights near the end of the game were some of my favorites to encounter because they were some of the most challenging. If I didn't have abilities in this game, I probably would have spent a good hour or more trying to beat them. Asterigos also has some good exploration that had me looking around for chests and loot that was spread all throughout the levels. When looting chests, you will receive materials to craft items to improve your stats. You will also gain a progress bar towards a reward. I also liked coming across these loot bags that contained health potions, materials, throwing knives, and more. On top of all this, I was always exploring, looking for new echoes to watch so that I could learn more about Aphis and its interesting characters. Overall, I think Asterigos is a good story-driven Souls-like that has fun combat and awesome fights to encounter, but struggles because of how unpolished the game can feel at times. Overall, I think you should play Asterigos if you are interested in what it has to offer, but I would get it on sale. Anyways guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys going to play Asterigos? Have you played Asterigos? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, what's your most anticipated game this year? I think mine is Star Wars Outlaws. I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I also like Ubisoft games, so I really hope that we get a good game. And yeah, subscribe for more gaming commentaries like this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.